welcome to my tape machine workshop. My name's Lucas. I'm a Pat student, second year. We had a session last week. Trying to demo some stuff. It was pretty cool, but main goal is to kind of work with the tape machines here. Get used to working with them. Just get some basic experience under your hands. I personally think it's super cool, but I also have not a lot of experience, so I'm learning right alongside you guys. But yeah, if we could go around and everyone just name your major and stuff, that'd be
Razor,
good.
I'm sorry, razor blades.
Yes, I can get those.
Okay.
All right, people do introductions. I am gonna get some stuff.
And I'm going to steal this here from you.
I'm Ian. I'm a junior in nuclear engineering, and I'm minoring in music.
I'm Silas. I'm a stamps major and freshman.
I'm Brian. I'm a CS and BCN major, and I'm also a freshman.
I'm Joey. Allergy season's fun.
Yeah, isn't it?
I'm Joey, and I'm another junior in nuclear. No relation to music, though.
Other than an interest. Well, obviously, all of you have an interest in this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be here. How did you guys who aren't in the PAT program find out about this?
I found out from him.
I found out from a different friend texting me. He's not here.
I just got like an email about this.
Okay.
I saw it on the
Yeah.
Index app.
On the what?
There's an app for like just events.
Oh, an events app. Okay.
Yeah, it's for free stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of shady, though.
For free stuff? Really?
They used to like make you log into your Unix email to like make
Really?
sure that you were like there.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I do not think they hadn't encrypted like anything.
Yeah. I mean, I generally think it's safe.
So, I should introduce myself. My name is Tom Bray. I work at the Duderstadt Center. I've lived many lives getting to where I am, including a whole bunch of audio engineering. I've got endless hours of time working with players. I worked in recording studios. I worked in professional post-production studios, like doing TV commercials, audio post. I have several hundred live-to-stereo recordings in the Bentley Library from a program I used to do at WCBN, your student radio station, which you should know about. 88.3 on the FM dial for those of you who are into analog technology, WCBN.org. They have an app you can download that actually works pretty well. I was the chief engineer there in the mid-'80s for about 3 or 4 years. So I know a lot about this stuff. I've built a number of studios. And I've been through pretty much every format of audio and video you can imagine, including most of the ones that don't exist anymore. So,
Isn't that crazy?
while I'm not officially trained in this studio and don't understand the intricacies of how to best patch things around, the concepts involved are things that I'm quite familiar with. Like any studio, it has its own way of doing things. So, two things that I thought would be fun for people to do today, and we can do more if you want. If you guys just want to take turns getting 10 minutes cutting and splicing tape,
I think that would be good.
that's
Because,
fine.
yeah,
But two things
just
that
to re-practice.
would just maybe kind of help introduce you to the fun world of analog tape is we're going to have you talk into the microphone and record you. There might be a slight delay at first, but minimal. I mean, you may not even notice it. But then I'm going to switch to the repro head, which will make your voice come to your ears long after you said something. And what happens is you start to try to catch up, and then your voice gets slower. You can't catch up, but you can't help it, and it's a fun and interesting experiment. The other thing is I was going to have you guys each say something. I don't know. Did you guys see the document I put together? I know Lucas.
Yeah, I can pull
it.
it. I can
Well, it's just
pull it up.
one. I talked about this. Something I did when I was first a DJ at WCBN. So I started out there. Was at the suggestion of the then chief engineer of WUOM, which turned into Michigan Radio, which is now Michigan Public, which is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. But that's all right. He said, "Hey, you know what's fun? So record yourself doing the legal ID for the station where he did it, and then turn the tape over and listen to it backwards and teach yourself how to speak it backwards. Then record that and turn the tape over again and see what it sounds like." It's kind of a little bit like sort of live from the moon and stuff. What's going on? So anybody know the show Twin Peaks? TV show from years ago?
Heard.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I know.
if you get a chance to see it, there's these dream sequences they do where people are like walking backwards in a dream, but they're recorded moving forwards and speaking backwards. So when they play it backwards in the dream sequence, their voice sounds really strange because they're speaking words backwards. But now we're hearing them played forwards, and that's the effect. It's just that you can easily do this kind of stuff digitally, but the reason I'm suggesting doing it on tape because the physical act of turning the tape over really drives home what's going on here, right? So it's just kind of fun. And hopefully we've got everything patched so that will work. So go ahead.
Hopefully. Sorry. No,
That's all right.
that's all I said.
Let's say what I just put some leader in the middle of this blank tape, so we could use this thing in the studio with you guys listening to your voice. You just I'll go in at once and see if this works. First of all, hi, come on in.
Hi. Are you here for the workshop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Grab
Yeah.
a chair. Why don't we just got through introducing ourselves? Why don't you tell us who you are?
I used to be a recording engineer like 30, 40 years ago, and
Oh.
just want to see what this
So you're
is.
familiar with this technology?
I have taped stuff before. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
And what's
I
your
didn't
name?
know they're still doing this today.
What's your name?
I'm Rex.
Brett?
Rex.
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 Yeah.
Oh. So Rex. What's your affiliation with the university, and how did you find out about this?
I'm retired now. I volunteer at the hospital and I play the piano. I'm a groupie of the music school. I don't know if these are all music students. Yeah.
No, actually,
Yeah.
are any of you? One of you's music minor, right?
Yeah, I'm a
so
music
that's-
minor. But
Everybody else has just heard about this. So.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so and I'm Tom Bray.
Hi, Tom.
Do you know if Sheila's coming in on today?
No, she's not.
Okay, so I guess I'm the oldest person in the room. I work here at the Duderstadt Center, and I've got done many of the past lives I've lived have involved audio, but media of all types, and making fun things happen. That's what I do. But I've got lots of experience recording tape in general, analog world in general. So we were just talking about a couple of things that we were going to do just for fun to sort of get off to a good start, and since there's so few of us, it'll be easy. One of the things I wanted to do is have everybody just talking into the microphone while I'm recording them, and then switch from the record head to the playback head, and see what happens. And you try to keep talking with your voice delayed in the headphones, because that's just kind of a deal. And the other thing we're talking about is record something forwards. This was from something I did when I was an undergraduate here. Actually, I did my undergraduate here, and was at the student radio station. And a friend of mine and I recorded us saying a legal ID for the station, turned the tape over, and played it backwards, and then taught ourselves how to speak that set of phrases backwards, recorded that, and then turned the tape over again. So we were playing our reverse spoken words, now in theory forwards, but it's never quite human sounding. So it's just a couple of fun things to try. And then, if you guys just want to sit over here with a razor blade and try not to hurt yourself, you can cut and splice the tape all you want. If there's anything else you want to try to do?
You guys still do that on a practical basis? Spikes tape? And
No.
okay.
I'm probably the
Yeah.
only one in the building that ever uses and does anything to do with tape.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually, when we're done with this is going back to my office where I'm digitizing a bunch of 7-inch reels of an old radio show called Jazz Revisited, which we're now re-airing on WCBN. It was originally broadcast on what was WUOM, the voice of the University of Michigan.
Yeah, I actually have done that.
Yeah.
80, this is 80. Yeah, in the 80s. And we will record stuff, and because the gal that came or the guy that come in and sing couldn't hit the notes high enough, so we'll manipulate that, play a little faster,
Yeah.
so he can hit that high, whatever, C or E.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go. So there's another nice little analog anecdote, right? I mean, you can do that digitally, of course. I mean, pitch correction, to its extreme makes you sound really weird, but, on the other hand, it can help with stuff like that. But this is how you do it, because this does have a pitch control. We played with that last week. So you guys were both here last week, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So you guys haven't even had a chance to splice tape yet, have you?
No.
Oh, man. Maybe we should get to that first.
Yeah, I was low-key gonna ask what that means.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me show you. Let me just get this to someplace that makes sense. Okay, so I don't have anything recorded. Maybe we should switch to the one that we recorded on and let people just splice that so you can hear that
Yeah, we can do
the
that.
correct splice shouldn't
That'd
be
be fun.
audible. That's what we did last week. So I'll walk through a demo, and then you guys will walk us through you doing the same thing. I want to hear you talking through each step. Okay. Well, that was easy. I like that. Okay, so one of the first things that we did last week, Sheila did this, is there was no leader at the beginning of the tape, and so the recording, some piano music they recorded, would start up and go, because it didn't have time for the speed to stabilize after startup. Part of that has to do with this tape deck not being fully properly aligned, because no one uses it but me for playback, and, you know, why
Is this
bother?
your personal one?
No, it almost is. This was donated to the radio station, WCBN, by a guy I've known for a long time who grew up who had a home recording studio and gave that up when he went to pursue laser art. He's now actually a pretty cool laser artist, and I work with him on that stuff still. It was sitting around the radio station there, not getting used and kind of getting abused, and then we had a tape deck here to stop working, and I said, I was still involved with the radio station, telling him, but I was on the board of directors. I said, hey, how about if we take this to the Duderstadt Center? Anyone there can still get access to it, because everyone can access the stuff at the Duderstadt Center, but we need a tape deck. And they're like, fine. Go ahead. Oh, see, so I forgot to do the tension roller on this side. And now it will play. So let me get the repro. Let's see if we're going to hear tape on 31 and 32. Yay! Okay, so we got that part right.
Nice.
So I'm going to just pick a spot. There's a couple things you can do. For your first splice, you don't need to do this, but this tape deck has an edit mode, which lets you drag across the playhead. So I'm just going to pick that high volume spot and mark it with my grease pencil, just enough so that I know where I'm going to cut. Can you see that little mark? Here. Turn a little bit.
I've seen this.
So it's a simple little mark. Now I'm going to hit stop and pull some tape out here to the splicing block, where I want to cut it on the 45-degree angle choice. There's a straight and a 45-degree.
What's the difference?
Some people say this is where you want to do a leader splice, not 45 degrees. I just use 45 degrees all the time.
Okay.
But when you're doing this, you're actually putting a little mini crossfade in. So if I'm actually editing content out, if I did a flat splice, there'd be more of a chance that it would be a sort of a weird bump, acoustically and physically. But the 45 degrees gives me a smoother transition. So if you've used any digital audio workstation, you see the ramping of a splice. It looks a lot like that. Only you can change the angle for the how
Oh,
fast.
so this would be like more of a pop type thing then?
Yes,
Yeah.
in theory it could be, but if I'm going from leader to tape, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But why not have a smooth transition
Yeah.
every time? So to do this, you don't want to. It's just not hard. If it's hard for you to do this cut, you're doing it wrong. So you want to keep a finger nearby, not too close. These are sharp, and just I'm going to exaggerate, but you want an angle. Just want to slice through the tape, get it in the slot, and it just slices through. And voila, a nice clean splice. You haven't mangled the tape, and you haven't hurt yourself. So now you don't want to splice over the slot, so I'm going to move these together over here. Make sure I get them butted right up against, but not overlapping. Come over here, and because these little rippy things on the tape dispenser don't work well at all, what I do is this, and then slice the tape with the razor blade. Attach one end to a corner of the blade so I can maneuver it and see it. Carefully, you want to get the tape right into the tape channel, completely over the tape. Rub it down, and then burnish it with your fingernail. And you see as you burnish it, it goes from light to dark to basically invisible once you're done with it correctly. And now let's see if I've messed anything up. Oh look, there's another splice right there from last week. So the tape path here, let me talk about that. There's these two tension rollers which keep the tension through the tape path correct. This one's slightly misaligned, so in a fast wind mode it'll just trigger into the off position, which is annoying, so you kind of have to hold it, but you probably won't have to worry about that. I'll deal with it. But goes through here. The tape path is erase, record, and play. So erase, this is mostly a piece of plastic. And there's a very thin layer of metal particles, which are actually the magnetic recording medium, and binder under that, holding them onto the tape. But most of this is just plastic tape. So the erase head erases anything that may have been pre-recorded on the tape, but also makes sure that it's all randomized, so that the record head can properly record what you're now trying to put on there. And basically, this works like the way a microphone or a speaker works. There's a coil that's reacting to an electric impulse, so more of a speaker in this case, right? Electric impulse moving a speaker to create sound. This creates a magnetic field that responds to the waveform creating that electric pulses. The playback head is just the opposite. It's more like a microphone. It reads that, runs it through the electronics, and creates another signal for playback, right? And all this is done at very, very low level, audio speaking, right? I mean, you've got, it's lower than about microphone though. So the way I describe it is mic level is down here, and this is line level, right? So big difference in the amplitude of the waveforms. So let's see how I did. So that was my splice and yet another one. So let's listen one more time. And you hear when I start it up, it goes, right? So those are the two splices going by. So I didn't screw it up. Okay, I'm going to move down a little bit. Next. Let's three chairs.
Alright.
So you're going to walk me through it. First thing is just pick a spot, and you can pick the spot it is right now without having to listen to it at all.
What does splicing do?
What is what?
What does splicing do? For the tape?
So we're just putting the same pieces back together,
Oh, okay.
just to practice that. But you would be cutting tape in order to remove parts or add parts of different tapes together.
Okay.
Or maybe you want to put leader between segments of a recording.
So I'm gonna just be like right here.
That's
I
fine.
guess. Yeah. And then
Playhead, no, right on the middle of the playhead.
right there.
Uh-huh. Just enough marks so you can see it. Don't be shy, but don't go crazy. It's
Yeah,
funny,
I can see
Sheila,
that.
who has visual differences with us, puts a little heavier mark on it and actually feels it. And she has this great little splicing tool that she can use without having to deal with an open razor blade. It's actually pretty cool.
And then
So
how
now
do
you're
you
gonna,
take it off again?
well, you can just pull it with your fingers, like
Okay.
here and here. Just pull it towards you.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. Make sure you get enough to work with. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
As long as you can get your mark into there. And the other thing that somebody asked this question last week, which is why I answered it, but they said, how does the tape stay in that block?
From there you would press like this.
Stop.
Well, no, don't do any of that. You can always just pull more off one wheel or another. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay. So
it's not the only
in the
one.
groove.
So you want to
And then-
center it, but right there you go. So hang on a second.
Uh-huh.
How does the tape stay in the block? Because the block is shaped like this. I exaggerate. At the bottom, it's the exact width of the tape, but at the top, it's slightly tapered in, so it keeps the tape down in the channel where you want it to be, not floating around loose. And that's why it works so magically. So now, take the razor blade.
Just right in the groove.
There you go. And you notice having you store it safely with the edge against the top of this meter.
And then I grab a piece of tape.
Yeah, you're gonna need a blade for
Yeah.
that. So pull it out
And
a
like
little
that
bit
one.
farther.
A little bit more.
Yeah, that's good. Now push the tape down onto the
Yeah.
dispenser first, and then cut it. There you go.
And then I kind
Yeah,
of got
just-
more than you, but
That's okay.
yeah.
It's not too much. You only need about an inch or so for a normal splice.
Oh, and then I had to move it over.
You want to move it over, right? You don't want to splice over the gap. Go ahead and separate them and then join them again so you know what that's like, because that's what you would be doing. Looks good. You can see if you push too hard, they start to overlap.
Mhm.
If you see a gap, you know you're not close enough.
Would it not play if it overlapped, or would it just sound really weird?
It would just be yes. It would play and it would sound weird, and eventually it might actually fail because it's not a proper splice. So now you burnish it with your fingertip first, and if you got any kind of a fingernail, use that to get into the edges. You'll see it change color as you get it correct, right?
So this really is a good history lesson.
This is a history
really
lesson.
No reason these guys will ever be.
No.
It's
Yes, a history
interesting,
lesson.
yeah.
But again, this is how we used to do it before there was a digital version of cutting and splicing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why that section's not really.
Well,
going
get a
down.
fingernail in there. Like try your index finger. No, this way. Yeah, move. You have a nail on that one. You push that one in. I think it's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, take it out.
Mm-hmm.
Tighten up the tape so you can play it. Oh, so you're going to spin your reels to take up the slack.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, now you probably want to rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so these controls are familiar. They're just actual make things move. Stop. Okay, and now play.
Uh-huh.
And watch your splice go by. Perfect.
Seamless.
You didn't mess it up. Yay.
Cool.
Yeah. It is cool.
Yeah, this is
It
pretty cool.
actually is cool. Nice
Yeah.
job. Okay, next. So walk me through it.
Okay. So just mark anywhere.
Well, you can pick that if you wanted. Do you want to rock and roll the reels? Push the edit button, and then you
And just
put the grease pencil down,
okay.
and then move the reels back and forth. Both of them, 2 hands. So you can pick a spot to splice.
Okay.
Or you can here, how about that? Pick that, line it up to that ding. Too far back. Keep going. There, back up a little bit. So you hear this.
Okay. There's kind of like a splice there already.
It's right here. This is the playback
Oh,
head.
this-
So
okay.
erase, record, play. Even
Okay.
though these are both the same head, they say record, play, because we'll get to that later.
Okay.
So mark in the center there.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna hit stop here just so you can tape doesn't try and fight you. Yeah, then give yourself some slack. You're gonna need it from both sides. Okay, and pull the tape towards you. That looks like you got enough to work with, right?
Okay.
Can you get your? Oh, you're really close to another splice. That's
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so you need more from this reel. Spool it out. I'll let him do it. It's okay.
Okay.
Get your mark right in there, and you'll feel the tape slide into the slot like
Yeah.
that, right? You can tell when it's in. Just go ahead and do it full length. Push it all the way in. There you go. Now it's a
Oh,
good
it
stable
just
thing.
stays. I see.
Okay.
And then just down there.
Nice easy slice. Shouldn't be hard. There you go. See? That's it. You're done. Once.
Okay.
Once is all you need. And you don't want to pull the tape out. You want to slide it down. So there you go. Put it back in. Slide the sections down. Make sure that they're not overlapped and not gapped. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, take the razor blade, pull some tape out, and before you cut it, pull it out and push it down onto the front of of that tape. No, just the silver part, so that the tail doesn't get lost. Push down with your thumb or something. No, on top of the silver
Oh,
part.
this part.
On top of the silver part. Right there.
Okay.
And now the tape will stay when you cut it. See? You're going to use the blade to hold the tape,
Use the blade to hold
hold
the
the splicing tape.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, just use a corner. It's usually easier, but you're going to use that to manipulate the tape to get it perfectly aligned, because you don't want it to be
Yeah.
over off the edge of the tape. There you go. And now burnish it down. First with your fingers, and be careful where you put this. You want to put it against that.
Is there any practicality of doing this in today's age?
You mean currently?
Mm-hmm.
Can make the music.
So one of
Yeah.
the things we talked about is this, what I will call graceful degradation, but in reality what we're talking about is tape saturation. The reason you
Yeah.
might want to use tape at all.
Okay.
Because in the digital world, okay, put it up and rewind. Yeah, take up your slack. And you're right next to another splice, so we'll see if you can hear either of them.
I mean,
Let's listen to this well,
that's also a factor in the data storage world. If I remember correctly, a lot of traditional data storage methods that we're using right now actually degrade incredibly fast. So we've been considering switching back to something like magnetic tape.
So
not
I
this
don't know
magnetic
what you're
tape,
doing
but
here,
a
but
magnetic
you
tape.
take up your
just
slack.
to make it last longer.
That's interesting.
yeah, well, so you want to rewind, because that looks, one of these is your splice, so rewind it,
So just
and then
press
hit,
this.
rewind a little bit, and now hit stop.
Ah, okay.
Okay, rewind, stop.
Also, they're not on
Hang on,
traditional
hang on.
hard drive isn't
Let's
necessarily
let's let him listen while he plays, okay? Go ahead and play and watch your splice go by. that high note. Hey,
Nice.
good job. I didn't notice it go by. That was fun. So, tape saturation, right? What that is in the digital world, it's perfect or it's not. Right? There's no in between. Right? So, I don't know if any of you have ever like watched an old VHS videotape or anything like that. No? Okay. Well, that's okay. But analog recordings versus digital. Digital is perfect or you can't play it because it's been corrupted too bad.
Yeah.
Analog goes through what's called graceful degradation, which, as I like to say, is the best we can all hope for in life. Whether there's a point when you're recording to tape where it's reached the theoretical maximum level, but if you push it, it starts to have it affects the character of the sound being recorded. It's called tape saturation, oversaturating the tape. And this is in many ways like overdriving your guitar amp to get that great sound, right?
Yeah.
It's analog, it's tubes. They're being pushed beyond their capacity to give you something you can't get another way. So some people like what that does to the musical sound. There's a guy in town here who I believe still uses a 24-track Ampex tape recorder, 2-inch tape, and he puts all of his, when he's doing his tracking, he puts it through that tape deck and records the playback head to his digital workstation, and then finishes everything digitally, but he's got that analog sound captured digitally, right? And that's part of what makes his studio sound so great,
Yeah.
because he still has tape in the process. But he doesn't do anything except pass the stuff through the tape. He doesn't mix from the tape or anything like that, because who would want to do that? It actually takes time to rewind. It's supposed to pink. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's why people might use tape today.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this just so you guys can get a sense of what tape is like and what, the physicality of it and what it means to be able to do this stuff and some of the fun things you can do with tape. So, what would you like to do next?
I don't know. Like record voice, like you said, that'd be cool.
Yeah, do you want to try that? Okay,
Yeah,
let's try that. So, I'm going to not use this tape. I'm going to use the tape that I prepped for that.
So anyone want to try like mounting the tape rolls?
Yeah, you can. We can. Let's do that a little bit later, so we can get this thing started.
I mean, that's really all we have to do.
Yeah. Well, except the thing is that it's a little finicky. Let me take this one off. So these lock the reels down. But what happens sometimes is this: it gets stuck, and you just have to kind of wiggle it and maneuver it around to get it off. So what happens is these will offset on the way, and you see that when they're offset and screwed down, that's how it locks the tape in. But sometimes it doesn't cooperate on the way down or up, and you have to just wiggle it around a little bit. So I'm showing you the easy way to do this, which is to use this little slot in the reel to capture the end of the tape. But when you've been doing this for a long time, you never do this. It's just a pain in the butt. You just hold it in and trap it with your finger, and that's a good way to go. But this is a good way to teach people. Because once it's wrapped around, it's trapped. And once again, I forgot to go through the tension roller up here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to where I put leader and start recording from there. One of the things that doesn't work on this tape deck is what's called a spooling mode. You may have seen this on the controls. If I hit both fast forward and rewind at the same time, it goes into a fast play mode. And it's not in contact with the tape head. As in, like if you see what happens here when I stop and hit play, it actually just did that. These are what's called tape lifters. Oh, it's not gonna do it. But when I hit play, it runs across the tape heads. When I'm in fast wind, it pulls away from the tape head because physical contact between tape and heads causes tape head wear. It actually starts to cut a groove in the head. And at some point, that becomes a problem. So when you don't need to contact the tape heads, you don't want to. But the edit mode, right, lets me, well, this is blank tape, it lets me, scroll back and forth, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. Scrub. That's the word.
Yeah,
Scrub back and forth. So, I went too far. Once again, I've gone too far.
There we go.
Okay, so we'll just start recording in here. Why don't you guys go out to the studio and let's see if we can make this work. One at a time, put on the headphones and start talking.
Okay, yep, we already have all that.
Got somebody at the headphones? First one there? Somebody ready?
Yeah. Looks like.
Alright, you can hear me, right?
And can you hear himself?
Can you hear yourself?
I can hear myself.
Okay. Tell him to start talking.
Alright, you can start talking, talk about whatever you want.
Just keep
Okay.
talking.
Guys, what do we talk about?
Actually, you know what? Let's give him something to read. Stand by. Come on, stand by.
Wait, actually stand by. We're gonna look for something for you to read.
Oh. Damn, that's crazy.
Anybody have anything with them to read? Any notes or anything physical?
News.
Actually, here, let's just call something up on our phone.
News. Didn't I come to one of your projects here? You did a computer project
Possibly, yeah.
a couple weeks ago
Music
at
Pad
the
Showcase.
Yeah, with the game,
Yeah,
kind of, right?
yeah.
So you work here? You work for him as an intern or something?
No, but I'm a past student, so I.
Oh,
I-
okay.
Yeah. But I
Wait,
just
was that?
got in contact with
It's
him.
called Jabberwock.
Oh, okay.
So you're just going to start reading from the top. You won't get very far.
Okay.
And then the next person will do the same.
Okay.
Jabberwock is our high school. Okay, tell him to start talking. Tell him to start from the top. Tell him to start from the top.
Alright, when you're ready, start from the top and just start talking. And move a little closer to the mic too, that would be good.
Yeah. Hold the
Okay.
phone up. There you go.
Do I just start whenever?
Yes.
Yep, go ahead.
At the end of the day, she could probably make or break him. That's what Stephanie Grisham, Donald Trump's former press secretary
Okay, so-
said about Melania and Katie Rogers at the time.
Okay, so you heard when I switched to the playback head, right?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, my
Right.
voice.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep talking at that. Okay, so give it to the next person.
It got like slow, and it was like in your
Well, it got
the delay, right? Yeah.
it gets delayed. It's delayed the distance between the record and playback heads. They can't hear me through the speakers, right?
I think, what is it?
Where did you end on?
There's a way to.
Oh.
That's okay, don't worry about it, don't worry
have
about it.
them hear through the
I
speakers.
guess, but is it that because
Anything. Just tell them to read anything. Okay, go.
Alright, go ahead.
All right. But is that because Melania has command of her heart or of his secrets?
Yeah. So, very difficult, right?
Yeah.
There's a way to do that. I just forget.
It's okay. As soon as the next guy's up, tell him to start reading.
Alright, you can start reading.
Up to the microphone. Raise his hand. Tell him to raise up to the mic. Raise his hand up.
Raise the phone up to the mic.
Yeah, there you go. So you're talking. Yeah,
The phone?
that's good.
Okay. Melania was tugged back into the news this week as her husband went on trial in Manhattan on.
Yeah. There you go. We got somebody X, right?
Yeah, we have one more.
Have you ever heard this? It's just fun. You should give it a shot. I'm surprised these guys can keep going as long as they do.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, just start talking. Raise your head up so that you're talking to the mic.
Melania was tugged back into the news this week as her husband went on trial and Manhattan on charges stemming from his husband out.
Oh my god.
So, did you hear that difference? You did very well trying to keep talking. So, you want to try it?
Sure.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, I didn't know if it's because you just couldn't read or.
Yeah, so,
Was it your turn?
It is my turn.
I think the phone was.
okay, you there?
Can I just read the
Let's see
poll?
Hey, just pick anything to read. I don't care.
Weather or something.
Um,
Weather today will be.
You gonna try it? Do, yeah.
I'll pull up something.
Yeah, anything at all.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Earlier this week, the Indiana Fever added the Iowa College basketball star to his roster. After setting multiple records this year, Clark...
Yeah. I am impressed how well you guys can keep talking, but we have one more to go here. Okay, you ready? Stand by.
明月光，疑是地上霜。舉頭望明月，低頭思故鄉。
Okay, come on in.
Awesome.
So, kind of different.
Yeah,
I
very
mean, you can screw stuff up like that in the DAW too, but it was so easy. Okay, so, do you want to do the record something? Thanks. Oh, look, someone's calling me. Hang on. Hello? Hi. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
While that's happening, how are we doing on time? We're approaching 11, so we're gonna have like 90-ish minutes left. I think mostly what I would want to cover,
Is that where you are? You're around the
tracking
back of the
more
unit?
stuff to tape, hopefully something like piano, and
There are
then
sliding doors.
maybe trying to cut it up and like
Right up next to the building.
make a little arrangement out of it. Just have people like practice more splicing. I think. Even reversing. Oh yeah, we're gonna try the reversal thing. I know we're gonna do that. Hopefully we'll have time to like digitize. Have this go into the computer so that like it's not just on the tape, and then I can share the files with you guys. Something like that. But yeah.
Okay, so this is 801, which is the
Got it. To address a previous question too about the practicality, I heard an interesting answer from one of my professors. Was like, he told this story about how when they switched from analog tape to like digital recording, a lot of vocalists, they're like, you require a certain amount of time to wait to rewind the tape, right? So when you had recording artists and you had the convenience of digital, you ran the takes so much faster. So then the vocalists wore out their voices, and like a lot of people got sick actually because they were running the takes so frequently. So the answer one of my professors said was like, working with tape kind of like slows the whole process down. And that is like pretty interesting in of itself, of like slowing down your workflow, because with making music in computers, right, it's like a lot of things can happen like instantaneously. And me personally, that's like really useful, but I can see the merit. It might be worth a try to like work with tape like that. I don't know, which is pretty cool. Here's a bunch of, let's see, I wonder if, okay, so we didn't record anything to the tape head. Okay. Gotcha.
I find it interesting because I think if I were to use tape at any point, it would be to record things, and then I'd put it into a DAW because I like the artifacts that it adds.
Yes, that's the other big thing is like, and you have to kind of like put in a very loud, big signal in order for that kind of saturation to happen. But the saturation is like a big appeal.
Even like the tape hiss.
Tape hiss, like the fact that you're just running it through the tape itself is like kind of an effect.
Can't it like cause like pitch bend, slight pitch bend too, or anything? Like, cause he said like this was out of alignment or something, and I feel like that would possibly.
Yeah, so like the way the tension works, like when you start playing it, it's like like the tension takes a while to get into place, so then you hear that pitch bend.
Yeah.
But even in properly aligned tape deck, you're going to get a little bit of that startup.
So yeah, last workshop
now.
too, we had a tape loop running. So like instead of going around the spools, we had like a closed circuit of stuff running through.
It went out and looped around the mic stand.
And then the tension kind of varied, so like you could hear like some spots of pitch bend. It was pretty cool.
And that was a small tape loop. We used to do fun things when I was a DJ at the radio station here, student radio station. You could do things late at night. We would have tape loops that would run from the production studio out into the lobby, down to the FM studio and back, and it would be like, a minute and a half, 2 minutes of tape. Just because we could.
Just 'cause.
We were students. It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's
What are
so
you gonna do?
awesome.
So, I apologize. I had to take that call. It was Miss Dig. You know what Miss Dig is? So if you're doing anything in the ground,
Oh, mistake at your house?
yeah.
Oh,
So you call Miss Dig to make sure that all utilities mark any utility lines that might be there before you go into the ground. So I did not want to not take that call.
Right.
Because they probably wouldn't call back again. Okay, so where are we?
I think we wanted to. You wanted to try that speech reversal thing?
The speech reversal thing?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one where
sure.
you flip the.
Okay,
the
so
keypad.
what do you want to say? You could do a legal ID if you call that up. Scroll down to the, you can see the where I talk about it here.
Metro Boom and make it move.
You could try and make a legal ID for the student radio station, or you could do anything else you want.
Yeah. Okay. Like just one word. I feel like that'd be easy.
Well, no, you want to do like a sentence.
Yeah.
So this is WCBN FM. Backwards is meh f is libat.
I cannot think.
I
that.
feel
That's
like-
crazy.
Right?
I feel like producer tags are the ideal here, like Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We
Yeah.
love casting spells.
So there you go. Right? So that's me. The real Bernard. Oh. So that's how you say this is WCBN FM Ann Arbor. That's how you say it backwards. Underneath there. So that's what I'm talking about. Is you can record something.
Yeah,
I mean, think about how you say this.
Yeah. What if we did? What if we did like this is the reel to reel tape?
Do whatever you want. Just pick a phrase. I just told you what I did when I tried it. Or you can
I
pick any
ate
phrase you
granola.
want.
The
for breakfast.
reel to
Real to real, we've got you covered.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Workshop.
We love nuclear bombs.
Okay.
Would we have to record it first and hear it
Record it
backwards
first,
and
play
then,
it back, and then
see it?
figure out. So I mean, you can write it phonetically, but you're really going to be using your ears and torturing your mouth.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So where are we with regards to my leader? Let me back up to the leader. So if we get a,
Does one person want to go out to the microphone?
yeah, somebody should record it. Who's got a good radio voice?
What am I saying? Welcome to the Real to Real Workshop.
Yeah.
Welcome to Real to Real. Like the Real to Real workshop. Okay.
Legalize nuclear
Workshop.
bombs.
It's gonna be. This is gonna be a hard one.
Put it on
Okay.
like red leather, yellow leather.
Go ahead and talk.
She sells seashells down by the seashore.
Or let's here. We're gonna pretend this is an actual voiceover session. Can I have a level, please? Which means talk. Why don't I hear anything? Have you muted something? Oh, I know why. My fault.
Yeah. Okay, we good. Yeah, I hear myself.
Okay, and can I have a level? Go ahead and just give me a level at what you're going to say that phrase. You can just repeat the phrase if you like.
Yeah.
No, say the words.
Say what? Real to real.
Welcome to the Real to Real workshop.
Welcome to the Real to Real workshop.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Good voice. And the level looks good. Do it again for me, please.
Welcome to the Real to Real workshop.
Okay, so that's loud, but I'd like more level to the tape. Can you give me more level to the tape?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Stand by. If you get too loud in your ears, let me know.
The real.
Yeah, but this is being used as data storage now. IBM
Keep saying that line,
recently
please.
implemented
Welcome
it
to
for
the
long-term
Real to
storage.
Real workshop.
I don't more level.
That's a little bit too loud.
Not this.
That's like-
For
That's
like
the story.
audio specifically.
So
No,
in your
yeah,
in
there's
your
a
headphone
volume
station, there's a volume control. You can either control it through the master. You can
Pretty
turn
small.
that down.
It's pretty.
Okay.
If you're
Yeah.
using like newer technologies, they can get it like almost narrow.
Again, please.
Welcome to the Real to Real
Now
workshop.
that's too loud.
And this lasts
Okay.
basically forever.
Keep going.
Welcome to the Real to Real workshop.
Okay, that looks good. Stand by. And I'm just gonna do this.
No pressure.
Welcome to the Real to Real workshop.
Okay, that was perfect. Do it again.
Okay.
Stand by.
Welcome to the Real to Real workshop.
we're done. Come on in.
Well, sounds lovely.
So,
I have to take a call. So
okay, go ahead.
hopefully
You
I
can
can come back
continue.
by. But if not,
Okay, yeah, thanks for dropping in.
Thank you very
Appreciate it. It was nice to see you.
yeah, you guys.
So, that was actually very much like a real voiceover session goes.
Seriously?
Can I have a level, please? And you start reading this, whatever script you've got, right? Not just yo 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 yo.
Yeah.
but the
No,
words
I didn't
that
know
are
what
gonna be
I didn't know what you meant by
recorded.
what.
I know, I know. So
level.
this is why
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
give me that line, right?
Mhm.
And I had to keep doing it while we were setting our gain structure here, right? Because gain structure is important, analog or digital. It starts analog, but the gain structure is always important through the whole process.
Mhm.
And then, that was perfect, do it again. You always want another take, just in case something happens to the first one. So, we got two. Okay, so who wants to isolate one of those takes?
Isolate.
Put a little piece of leader in there, on either end,
So let's just cut
turn
it
the
out.
tape over, and play it back. Who wants to do that? And right now I'm in record safe. I went to turn off the record enable buttons and went to repro head. Who wants to do that? Or do you want to watch me do it?
I mean, if no one's offering, I'll try.
Go for it. Here you
Go
go.
for it. Woo.
Welcome to the hot seat.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is back up a little bit. I zeroed the tape about where we started, so you can probably back up to where you start to see leader, and then hit the stop button.
What do you mean leader?
The white leader. This.
Okay. Yeah.
Good question. And you want the stop button? Yeah, you want to
So go forward a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Now I can just play it.
Then stop.
Keep going.
Okay.
Welcome to the Reel-to-Reel workshop.
Okay. Let's take two.
Welcome to the Reel-to-Reel workshop.
Take one to me sounds a little more precise, a little crisper stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of take one, which is pretty much the beginning of the before the leader. There you go, too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tape moves fast. Okay.
Nice.
Now, we're gonna do, you get to go into, here, put yourself in front of the machine. Okay, we're gonna go into edit mode, which lets you rock and roll the tape. So one hand on each wheel, and just start spooling it over, in. You're backing up, you wanna go forward
This way.
until you hear welcome.
Well,
Okay, back up,
Whoa.
back up to where you hear it. Okay, you missed it?
I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, keep going, keep going. No, forward, you're going forward.
Here, I can get that.
Oh, we went out of edit mode, sorry.
Oh, oops.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Just this one.
Yeah.
So keep,
welcome.
okay, so back up to just before the whoa.
I gotta.
Yeah.
Back in it.
Modern magnetic tape storage.
Okay.
There.
Yeah, look, give yourself a little bit more.
Set size would be 5
Okay, that's good.
80
Now stop.
gigabytes. Okay.
Pull, mark the tape.
Fair enough.
Okay, you're good. You pull it down, and you're gonna put some leader in.
Which is about 300 gigabytes per square inch.
And I'm gonna put like, a couple 3 feet of leader in there so it's easy to see.
What do you mean leader?
That's
Again?
it.
This?
Right there, yeah. But you're gonna cut the tape,
Uh huh.
right?
Yeah, why did they call it leader tape?
Because it usually goes in the beginning,
Okay.
Okay. Got it there.
and then you're gonna separate your splice, right? And you're gonna attach leader to the outgoing piece first. So you're gonna splice onto here first. So find the end. That's attached.
Oh yeah.
So find the end.
Mhm.
Go ahead and splice that in.
Okay. So.
So were you guys that were here for the first time?
Mm-mm.
No, I know, but were you on any of Lucas's emails?
Yeah.
I got
I know
the
you
first
guys-
email.
I didn't get any emails.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you can make sure that they can access this because there's a bunch of interesting information in here.
Okay.
Right.
It was
I
a-
don't
it was
think
a-
I got
It
your
was a brain dump I did
unique name.
prior to the first workshop.
Okay.
So while he's doing this, for example, I'll just let him mumble on here.
Yeah, we'll
So-
share the doc with you.
We talked about tape tracks, right? Originally, analog recording was mono. It was just one channel. And then somebody figured out stereo, and suddenly there were two. When it was mono, no one referred to tracks, because it was just one recording. But when you had two channels, they were tracks. And in fact, they looked just like train tracks. That's how the name tracks came by, I think. But this is a system whereby you can actually see, this is what the system is. You see the piece of tape going under that glass? It's basically, it's like this guy, Wooly Willy. He's got a bunch of little iron particles and a magnetic thing, and you can like move them around. right? That's kind of what's happening here. There's a liquid in that plate right here that responds to the magnetic pattern on the tape. And so what you're looking at is 4 tracks. So 1/4 inch 4-track, this typical consumer home version where you listen to like a cassette, you can turn it over. Have you ever played a cassette? But
How many feet of the leader did you need?
well, about a couple, 3 feet.
Okay.
So just spool it off. Just pull it out into your lap here. Yeah, there you go. Keep going, a little more. All right, that's good.
And then just like cut it with the.
Yeah, so you can. No. You're gonna cut it in the splicing box. So you can
Okay.
pull that out of your way.
Yeah.
You're done with that. Push it off to the side. There you go. Put it in the splicing box because you want a cut that matches the incoming tape now, right?
Yeah.
So this was able to read the top track is track 4 in this case. This is only visible in the top right corner. But you listen to 1 and 3 stereo going one direction, turn tape over and listen to 2 and 4 to the other side of the tape, so to speak. But it's not actually, I mean, it's a side because you turn it over, but it's all on the table. So that's what we mean by tracks. And the biggest you ever got was 2-inch 24-track. After that, it was just like out of control, and you would just add another machine. Because physically, it would be too hard to manage the tape beyond 2 inches. Videotape, when it was first invented, was actually, well, first commercial use was 2-inch quad recordings, 2-inch videotape, where you would actually edit it by slicing it with a razor blade. Because of the nature of how it was recorded, that worked. When they did other tape formats, the helical scan stuff, which you may or may not have ever seen or been aware of, but you can look it up, you couldn't do that, so it had to be electronic editing.
Okay.
Okay, you got it? All right. So tighten it all up. Want to make sure you're not going to catch the tape on anything. You got everything in. Okay, and one thing you're missing here is, so this is the cap stand, and if you put your finger on it, you see it's always turning.
Oh yeah.
This is the pinch roller. When you hit play, those squeeze together. The cap stand controls the tape speed, and the pinch roller ensures that it gets pulled consistently through the tape pass. So you want it to go in between those two. You'll figure it out. There you go.
And then this one
Nope,
too.
nope,
right?
nope. Just
Not
that's
that.
the only one. Everything else is just around. Okay. So now hit play, and you're ready to stop it at the end.
Welcome
Nope.
Stop it.
You want
to
to
the
get
reel-to-reel workshop.
boom. Okay. Go to edit, and rock and roll back to the end of your word. Okay. That's it. Go a little farther forward. Rock it forward. Forward, not backwards. Use the other wheel. Keep going a little more. Good. That's good.
Okay.
Okay. Now stop.
Stop.
Mark it. Okay.
Okay.
And do your thing.
All right. 3 feet ish again.
Yeah. Just so we have something easy to work with. 'Cause it doesn't matter. So once we had stereo, people were thinking, well, how come, is there some way I can use that one piece of tape, record one track, and then record a second track in sync, right? Well, you didn't have a way to do that because it was erase, record, and play. You had not figured out how to use the record head as a temporary playback head. But then they did. And you ever heard of a guy named Les Paul? Or the Les Paul guitar? Probably one of the most played guitars on the planet. Yeah, he invented multi-track recording. When he came up with the idea and had engineers figure it out. So what made it possible is you did, in fact, turn the record head, track by track, into a temporary playback head. So as I'm recording at that same physical spot on the tape, I'm listening at that same physical spot on the tape.
So I just spliced it back together on accident. Can I just like
Oh yeah,
take the tape
well, let's
back
try it.
off?
See if you can take it apart. You might have to like lose the tape, but yeah, you
Yeah.
forgot to put the leader in.
Yeah.
So here, let me show you a good way to do this. Let me see if I can. This can be done, but you want to do it from the back. Right, so you can sort of force the tape away from the splice a little bit. Tease it away so I can see a little bit of blue there.
Yeah.
So I got something to hang on to. And I'm going to try and get it. There we go. Okay, so if you're careful, you can reuse this piece of tape. Let's go ahead and try it. You got that upside down, I think. No, you were right. I'm sorry.
Was traditionally the tape valuable enough to warrant the camp roll?
No, it's not. It's just that it's a pain in the ass to get off of a piece of tape. Let me see what's going on here. So, Move your finger out of the way for me. Okay, I'm going to say that's good. So roll the tape back over. Okay. Yeah, it's not that it's valuable. It's just it's a pain in the ass any way you do it. But the less you have to deal with peeling it off, because it's harder to, believe it or not, harder to get it off that second piece of tape than the first one. Okay.
That's cool. Also, like so much stuff, like recording at like a higher speed and then slowing it down.
Right. This is actually, for whatever reason, the labeling on this button is completely opposite of the labeling on this button. So I thought we were recording at low speed, but we've been recording at high speed. It doesn't really matter for. Well, wait. You've got it turned over. Right.
How would I know?
Because you can't see that. You're looking through the tape.
Mm.
And this has arrows,
Mm-hmm.
but just make sure that you've got the same side up, and that's all that's important. See, because we've got, this is the back side of the tape, so we want it to match.
What would happen if you did like reverse thing?
Your
You just
tape
get
would end up
tangled,
flipping
right?
one way through, and you wouldn't be able to record or play effectively.
Okay.
You might get something, but nothing like what you were expecting.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, this is mostly a piece of plastic. Only one side has a very thin layer of the oxide particles that do the actual recording. You're gonna get good at this.
Starting to learn.
If this was the 80s, you'd have a job.
Yeah. There you go. Or you could go,
If it
Working.
becomes like a doomsday, I'll have a job.
I mean, you could work in a data center. Maybe they still use this
yeah.
for the market.
Well, that's what I was gonna talk about. Thank you. We're talking about, maybe you talking about tape as data storage?
Yeah, it's true.
So it's still the best backup medium is tape.
Yeah.
Linear tape. So you take a bunch of drives. Oh, whoa! You're getting way
I see,
out
I
of the
see.
path here. Yeah. So
Yeah.
keep enough tension on it that
Okay.
doesn't get lost.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not fragile.
Mhm.
Right, look, careful. You're make sure you got everything. So you somehow managed to twist this tape in your edit. See that?
Yeah.
So we can fix that.
Yes, just a second.
Mhm. Here we go. Because you did have the correct size matched up when you edited, when you spliced, we were able to recover. Now you got one more tension roller to loop through here.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, tension it up, yep. And go ahead and, I don't know where we are. I think rewind
At the end.
and then play. Whoop. Yeah, you went too far.
So I can just hit play, right?
Yeah, but let's do this. Let's get to your leader. Now hit play. And
Welcome to the Reel-to-Reel Workshop.
there we go. Okay, so that's what we got. And we got leader before and leader after. Okay,
Mhm.
so what is it? So since you did the splicing, who wants to flip the reels? Anybody?
Do you just like physically
Yeah, just take the tension off. First of all, like give yourself slack so it's not gonna. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And then I would just take it out of the tape path entirely,
Okay.
right? Because you're gonna be flipping it over. There you go. And you want to trade reels. You have to unscrew that. Unscrew. That's you're good.
You're flipping the reels.
And like I said, sometimes. Okay, so now, I would just put that down since you're new at this, so you don't forget where you are.
Yeah.
Take the other reel off.
I missed that.
There you go. And now,
I see it.
get one reel in each hand, right? And do this. You want to make sure that you don't spool too much tape off. Okay, there you go. And now, these are in the right spots. Let's just hold on and get the tape all organized and out of the way. Okay? Now put the reels back on.
Just like it was in there.
So the only thing that's really important here is just to not let tape spool off of the reel and not get confused about what's going on where. It'll happen. One way or another.
Yeah.
Try going the other way.
Where is it? Oh, it's here.
Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't.
Almost there.
So this is why you normally use large reel hubs. They're not in there. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and lock them down, and you just twist this, not the flange. There you go.
Okay.
And rethread the tape. So the reason we use large reels with large holes in the middle is it's much easier to get reels on and off because there's an adapter that sits here and is locked in by this, and those things just have a big twist. It's super easy. Okay.
You have to get it through
Yep,
this.
both tension rollers. Now, theoretically, I want to back up to later. This should be the end of what we recorded, right? If we did our, so hit play. Oh, we went the wrong way. Go back. You have to rewind.
Yeah,
Get ready to
Right,
hit.
yeah,
Get ready
yeah.
to hit stop. That's rewind. Get ready. Too
Keep
soon.
going.
You want to get to the next leader. There. Stop. Now hit play.
I ska slå i vuxen. Well,
Okay.
He kind of spins now.
We're gonna figure out how to say that backwards now.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so let's.
Can we like slow that down?
Let me
or
get the
something?
syllables.
You can slow it down, but let's just listen to it first.
I ska slå i vuxen. Well,
So we can go slower.
Okay. Like, does that help?
Yeah. It did not
That
help
kind
at
of made it
all.
worse, right?
A little too slow.
We could pitch it down.
It sounded like
You pitch it up.
what Fox
We'll
used
pitch
to
it-
play when they were calling the Pokemon rap demonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I've pitched it down, so it's not half speed.
Oh, okay.
I ska slå i vuxen. Well,
So can we do half speed
It's
and then
not
pitch it up?
happening.
Maybe.
Sure.
So, like,
So maybe that wasn't the best phrase.
Roya. Roya. This is,
Oh. Yeah. I guess that didn't do much. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
That's not happening.
That's hard.
so let me suggest something.
yeah.
Let's re-record it and just say it slower. We're saying, "Welcome to the reel-to-reel workshop."
Okay.
Okay, so we have some distinct syllables and starts and stops. So welcome to the reel-to-reel workshop. It's kind of like, as you heard. Okay, so I think your voice was fine. I think you want to try it again.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna re-flip this tape.
Right.
And so,
Yeah, we're approaching about an hour left here.
okay, is there anything you want to cover other than messing around
yeah,
like
I'm
this?
curious. So, like, what would be something to be like? Oh, I wish we did this before we wrapped up and stuff.
Yeah. Who's got an idea for that?
I do have to get going at like noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might
So-
have to get going. I don't know.
I'm going to the senior.
So you got, we have a minimum of half an hour. Is that what I'm hearing? So people have to leave at noon?
I mean, don't like hold up for me. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay, but is that a correct statement? on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
part? Okay.
We do around some. Can we also just listen to some tape recordings?
Do what?
Just listen to some.
Sure, we've got some stuff that we recorded before. I guess you weren't here for that.
Yeah.
People have asked me to do things today, but they're both like way other times. So I
But
have no idea.
just, I'll warn you, it just sounds a lot like any other recording.
Oh, okay.
I mean, one of the things we're going to try to do, which I don't know if maybe we could do that, if you understand that this was fun and probably not worth trying to actually make happen at this point, we can just keep going. We can listen to some of the recordings we had, but one of the things that we were talking about, tape saturation and recording levels, right? In the digital world, you want to err on being a little bit too low level because you can use normalize and with no penalty, make it louder, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing about tape is it has its own noise, tape hiss, right? If you just listen to unrecorded tape really loud, you can hear tape hiss. And we can do that because it's got random generated patterns from the randomly scattered things on the tape, right?
That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, you want to hear that? 'Cause and the reason I bring it up is because when you record to analog tape, your recording and the medium are forever one. You cannot separate the recorded data from the data on the medium. In the digital world,
what he's saying right now.
you're recording ones and zeros, and early digital recordings were recorded to tape, but it was ones and zeros, but really sloppy. It's hard to record a square wave, but it's like, yeah, that's more of a 1 than a 0, yeah, that's more of a 0 than a 1, and it would read the data from the tape, not pay any attention to the tape, and recreate perfect ones and zeros for playback through a digital to analog device to eventually a speaker in your ears. So that's why digital recordings, for many years there were long battles with companies like Dolby and DBX to find electronic means to eliminate or minimize tape hits. And they were successful, but a pain in the ass. And once digital came along, problem went away. But then people are going, you know, I kind of miss the way that analog stuff used to. And anyway, that's a whole other conversation. So, what are we going to listen to tape hits? Let me make sure I'm just at a blank piece of tape first, all right?
Yeah, I
I don't
think
want to
it'd
be
be
blowing anybody away.
cool to hear the
So you
tape hits.
turn down?
Oh, he might want to.
You turn down? Yeah.
Was tucked back into the news this week as her husband went on trial in Manhattan on
Oh, that was me.
Well, that was everybody, yeah. Well, I'm going to get rid of pitch control.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I'm just gonna go
that's
way
what
up.
I would like to do before we wrap up is like get some tape hits. Just like record some piano movies and
Okay, I think we're safe.
really saturate it.
Yeah, I think
So
that'd
you,
be pretty cool.
so you want to turn that up really loud? No?
He's just standing in there
Are you,
vibing, bro.
are you all the way up on it?
What do you want me to turn up?
I want you to turn the speaker volume up. At the
Okay.
master.
Yeah.
That big knob. The big master knob there.
Yeah.
There you
Well, should it be playing anything right now?
go. Yeah, I mean, this should be tapeless. I'm not hearing anything. Because this is a good tape and a good machine.
Did I miss it?
I don't know if you can increase, if you patch this through a channel where you control, like, something where you have gain, a mic preamp would probably be too strong of a signal for that.
Well, are we just trying to hear the playback from there?
Yeah, but I'm trying to ramp it up so I can hear the tape. And I don't have any volume controls on the machine.
Oh, okay. So
So the only control you have is through the console.
All
What
right,
would
yeah.
happen if you
I'll just try to
started
crank
like
it.
scratching the magnetic part of the tape?
Okay, so there you go. So that's both electronic noise and is the tape is. Right? I mean, that's the noise floor of this deck.
Yeah.
Right? Anything on top of that, if we played something that was recorded at this volume, it would blow the speakers
I
up.
was gonna say that's
Right?
super
That's
loud.
so that's both the electronic noise and tape hits.
You can hear.
And the tape hits is the higher end stuff. There seems to be more electronic noise than anything else. But
Can you guys hear it like a little, like very subtly, like a?
yeah, you can hear the little breathing. That's just from
Yeah.
the tape manufactured somewhere. And there's this other phenomenon called print through, where you have recorded material in a tape, which is why you always want to store things tail out, because so you have layer on layer of tape, and each magnetic layer can influence the one next to it, right? So if you play it, leave it tail out. First of all, the implication is that it's been played and has a nice smooth even pack, as opposed to a fast one, which can be all kinds of irregular. But the print through then becomes an echo and not a pre-echo, which is much less disturbing, because if generally you're not going to hear it if there's any print through at all. Print through is a very slow level thing. So anyway, noise floor. That's like what it's about. You can turn it back up again if you want to. Yeah. So I doubt that in this room, if you were to do something similar with Pro Tools in the console, you would hear anything like this. Because this is old technology. This is excellent old technology. And digital tends to not generate self-noise. If you're hearing it in your DAW system, you need to check your installation.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's interesting. That's why we don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's a pain in the ass. But it's fun to come in and have a chance to explore it and understand it, and then get a sense of why it's a pain in the ass. Which is why I make sure these guys get access to that document, because this sort of takes you through that journey of how we got to why digital just solved a bunch of problems, but then,
Okay.
maybe not.
What would happen if you like scratched the magnetic part of the tape?
What do you mean by that?
if you like scratch this with like.
Oh, like with a razor blade or something? I don't know if you would hear it. We can try it. But what you would get would be, if you tried to record over it, you would get dropout because you'd be scraping the oxide, the recording substrate, off of the tape.
Would you hear it if you were at like that really high volume for like the noise floor, like the
Don't
noise
know.
from the tape would come
We
out?
can try it. You know, because I'm doing something, I could use a razor blade maybe, or use a fingernail might be different. But
What if you had like a magnet?
you know, if you took a magnet, you'd probably hear a bump or something, because it would be just a strong single thing, right? So if you took a magnet as it was moving, you'd probably hear like a woo, 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 woo. I don't know, I've never tried it, but here's your music called click, right? Playing the medium. I don't have a magnet handy, so we can't try that. We could try scraping some oxide up, but like I said, what that would basically do is give you dropout, because you'd be losing the material upon which audio is recorded. I don't know if you'd hear it just going by, but let's see. So get ready to give me
a
a...
magnet on the back of most iPhones, but I doubt it's strong enough.
I'm sorry?
There's a magnet on the back
Oh.
of most iPhones, but I doubt it's strong enough.
Yeah, I doubt it is too. So I'm just sort of scraping the tape here. I can see little scratches in it. I'm not scraping it enough to do a real dropout. I mean, if you see the ends of old tapes, a lot of times you'll see that the stuff at the very end of the tape is just not good. So, are we turned up?
Like all the way?
Yeah, I want to hear that at this level.
Sure.
Okay, and I'm going to just drag this across. Well, there you go. You can turn it down a little bit.
Okay.
So,
There you go.
so it's the disturbance in the force.
Is that just a
Could you
slowly
put it to like
saturated piece of tape?
a normal volume that you would normally
Yeah,
have?
take it down to something normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then could we just like play it through it?
Well, I'm
Okay.
struggling, so because I was fairly aggressive at scratching it,
Okay, that's about what I expected.
that's what you're hearing. So it's just, and I don't know if it's because of the physical thing happening between the tape head and the tape, or if I've done something magnetic to it. Kind of sounds more physical to me,
Yeah.
but the alteration is funny. I can actually see it going by from this side. So I guess I was more aggressive than I thought. Yeah, interesting experiment.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you for
cool.
suggesting it. Now, I could probably go find a magnet. I mean, I have a tape demagnetizer, but that's,
It's the opposite.
I mean, I had
I mean, it is.
demagnetizer. I mean, it might be interesting. Would you like to try it? I'll go find it.
I'd be interested. I don't know if
Okay.
it-
Sure.
Is there anything else you want to do before we go down that road?
I don't know. I'm just interested in whatever. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Just,
Let me go get it. See what happens. Well, I'm gone. Think of anything else you might want to do.
Nice.
Should we still try to record that thing slower?
Oh, wait. Do you want to just listen to some recorded stuff while I'm off?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So
Maybe you could
why don't you go ahead and
Yeah.
change reels? Actually, we're gonna need to rewind. So.
Did you turn the
Yeah, I mean, you
volume
could try
down?
just, you know, if you wanted to just go through recording and scratch the tape with keys, have something, you can try that. Yeah, that'll work. So you should do it with this tape. If you want to do that now. So hang on, Lucas.
I'm okay.
No, as I said, well, that thing could be interesting. I've never done it.
Fair enough.
So we were gonna go back to where we were playing before. So we just because that's probably fun. And we're gonna record and scratch the incoming tape with keys, right? So you're gonna be over here trying to scratch it. You might have to. So we have to do record enable, and then you have to play record. And so you're gonna try and scratch the tape coming in.
Like
Well, I would say you want to scratch just this side.
just the.
See, this is where the oxide is.
Okay, so just.
So you have to hit record, play. Record and play.
Okay.
And are we listening to the repro head? And is it turned up much?
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm.
You might not be scratching it enough to matter. I mean,
Is there a sharper key I have?
yeah, and then try to be more aggressive. Put your finger on the other side and then move it the key bit. Okay. Okay, hold on. Stop.
It might not be sharp enough.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean, I
let's.
have like a
So let's go.
utility, you know.
Well, hang on. Let me turn me way up again. carefully. Okay, ready?
Okay, carefully. Yeah.
So I heard something there. So
Something.
You did something, but again, it's pretty subtle, which speaks to the quality of the tape more than anything else.
Yeah. What happens if you put like grease pencil on the magnetic part? Would it
You're
just
going to make your
also
hands
have the
dirty, and I
bone?
won't let you do that.
Yeah, that's right.
But what it's going to do is it's going to pull the tape away from the tape head, right, and then leave some residue on the tape head, so that anything that doesn't have grease pencil on it is still going to get grease pencil on it. So it's I mean, it's kind of interesting because it's a process you couldn't control very well, I bet. But because this is going to be kind of randomized.
Yeah, and I imagine that'd be pretty bad.
And then
for
you'd
the
have to
tape
clean
head.
it all up.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we need something sharper,
Yeah. I mean, again, we heard your key, but at a higher level of playback because it's just doing minimal amount of scraping. You want to try that?
we can try it.
Okay.
See
Ready?
if scraping's different.
Careful of your finger. Okay, so now you've taken it out of the tape pencil. It's going to stop.
It's scary.
No slicing yourself.
Yeah,
Ready
it's
for
hard.
it?
Please don't.
Wait till I get going, okay?
Knife the skin, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's listen to that. Let's play that back loud.
Not too bad.
It's more consistent.
Yeah, I mean, it's a single straight edge. So,
Yeah.
so like the character of the tape. Yeah, we hear it when it ends, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So again, what's happening at this point is you're at a very low level of signal. You're affecting what the bass noise of the tape is. So, all right, go ahead and get your playback going, and I'll go find my.
Yeah, now we're just breaking things.
I mean, that's kind of the point of this workshop is to just break the rules.
Come on, musique concrete or whatever, we have to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Stupid French people.
That's in the
I don't know,
spirit.
I'm into that sort of
That's
stuff.
in the spirit of, yeah.
Into making it,
Concrete
not so
music.
into listening to it.
Yeah. It's just very weird, right?
Honestly, concrete music is a sick name. Makes me think people are just like throwing concrete at people. Music concrete honestly sounds better.
I
just
love
sounds wrong.
concrete.
Concrete music, bro.
It just sounds so wrong.
Yeah, like you're making music with
You're putting it
concrete
on
cinder
this
blocks.
one, right?
See, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think so.
I trust.
I don't know if I do that. But
No, I trust. Alright, how does this work? Hello, come on. It's got stuck somehow. Come on.
why are we not locking in?
There you go. Is this the right way? Yes. No? Shit. Fuck. Flip it. Okay, so here, route through there.
Yep.
Here.
You know, if we wanted to go to the ultimate end of breaking shit, we would stick that little straight edge sideways and cut little holes in it.
Yeah. Hey, do you want me to?
Think that works. Is that
I
too
figure
weak?
that would make
I can like
no effect on an
I can
empty
like
sheet
hold it.
and an interesting effect on a full sheet because it would fuck with tension.
Mm.
I have no idea how he did it. If you want, I can like hold it and you can start.
No, here's what I think he did.
Oh, maybe he put it under this.
You basically bring it through here, and then.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's how it is. No. Mess that up.
I don't think we're putting it on backwards.
Nah,
I don't think so.
I think it's right. The black part is like supposed to be facing out. So
I think it has to be through this. Yeah.
I just
How many people does it take to start a tape then?
yeah. I don't know. I think that's fine. Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, because that. Oh, so you're right. I did have it backwards.
Well, let's just see what happens. Are we playing through this whole thing backwards? Yeah, we're playing through the whole thing backwards.
Whoops! Sorry.
It's cool though.
I was wrong.
Keep listening to it. Cool. All right, so yeah, let's flip this on the way. Bye.
it's
kinda
like
satisfying.
split it in
Leader
half.
tape's getting like ruined.
Okay, well yeah, but there's nothing on the tape, so I mean, even though it's getting mangled, like, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Is it that way or the other way? Don't you have to flip it? Like,
You right? You're so right.
Wow, this thing sucks to get on. It's awful.
I'm sure at some point people get the hang of it.
I don't know.
Relatable.
He was having a tough time with it as well.
Relatable. I mean, the other thing is this is a pretty, I don't know, tape is just apparently super expensive now.
Is it?
It's just like more, it costs more than it used to. I mean, that goes for a lot of things, but that's also like a big factor of just like, you know, it's not, why it's not a thing anymore. Because for the amount of content you're getting, each of these reels can get you like 15 minutes of stuff. And then if you want higher quality things, then you have to play at a faster tape speed, which means you need even more.
So, unfortunately, I haven't been able to find a tape demagnetizer, but remember this?
Yeah.
I found the set that I had. I did a lot of audio archiving, and I had tapes of unknown track configuration. So I wanted to be able to see it. This, unfortunately, is way too old and dried up, and I'm glad we kept it. But this was full of like a brown liquid, and I put the tape under it, and then used this loop to look at it, just like that picture, only slightly different version of the system.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Really cool.
I'm really glad to have discovered this. And then it was safely in a box that no one but me would touch, called Tape Deck Supplies. So it's still around.
Tom, what is the easiest way to kind of like hook the tape?
For what?
To hook the tape on the reel.
So look at you.
Yeah, I know. I broke it.
So you were going the wrong way, right? They've got to be
Oh.
opposite of each other.
Oh yeah.
So then, that's okay. Yeah, we can get that later. Doesn't matter. Yeah, why don't you give me a clean cut here? Just anything. Just cut the razor blade right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right, you want to get it up into the slot. And I'll let everyone practice this, because you should know how to do it if you're ever going to walk into a tape machine.
Yeah.
Tape machine walks into a bar.
The only way I'm walking into a tape machine is if it's by accident.
Right. So there's a little slot here. Just put it in there and hold it with your finger. Make sure it stays in there. And then once the tape wraps around itself, it traps it, and you're good to go.
Okay.
Almost. This is starting to come out, but
Had the right.
see, you can see it's not now. Now, I can't. I have to pull the tape, and now it's caught solidly, but it slipped out of the slot. So try it. Try it again. You do it. There you go. So whatever makes it easier, if you can grab the end or pick it up in the middle, doesn't matter. Into the slot. And you want to, like, once you get it into the slot, just kind of put your finger on it there to hold it.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, wait, you're wrapping around. See, there you go. And you can hold it here, anywhere that makes sense. There you go. Now you're good. And once you can turn this reel and it pulls the tape, you know you're good. Because
Right.
it's still slipping, you got a problem. Anybody else want to try it? Please, this is your chance. Come on. There you go.
I'm gonna be taking photos, by the way, so no pressure.
So this is the only side with a slot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't mess up.
So here, they turn.
Yeah.
Otherwise
Somewhere
it's
convenient
kinda
for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the hard part.
Yeah.
There you go.
You got it.
Done like a professional.
Wait, am I going backwards or is this right?
You're good. You haven't twisted the tape, so you're doing good. Now just hold it in there. Good. Keep holding it.
It's not
pulled out of the
in
slot. So
Sure.
okay,
And then just.
and then just keep winding until you're pulling the tape. There you go. Now you know you're solid.
Right.
You've got kind of a big tail here, which
Yeah.
may become a problem of flapping in the breeze, but probably not.
Mhm.
Not in the real world. Okay.
Interesting. Switch.
And we didn't finish threading it, but that's okay.
Mhm.
We're not practicing that. We're practicing this.
How much does one of these machines go for?
So you can find them. I mean, if you want to play with a tape deck, you can find like a consumer version on eBay and places like that, probably for a couple $100 maybe. And as you can see, you can now once again buy audio tape supplies.
Yeah.
You slipped out of the slot, so back up. You're not actually backing up. There you go.
Oh.
So you can leave that on. I mean, you can. When I say back up, hang on. You can just do this again, right? So grab the tape again.
I see.
Grab it here,
Okay.
because you want to put it in there. Pull it out. There you go. Now make sure you don't twist it.
Just have to get the notch.
And that's kind of a lot. So when you pull some back, put your finger in here on there so it doesn't slip out. And this is pretty solid stuff. You don't have to be that gentle with it. So when you pull some back, yeah, there you go. Okay. Now secure that and start pulling. Start winding it up. Hang on to it. Don't let it slip out. Yep. Keep it in the slot is the most important thing.
Nice.
Okay, did you catch it? So let go and just turn the reel. There you go. Success.
Nice.
Yay.
Easy. Okay.
Anybody else? I mean, this is your chance to do it, kids. You know.
Kids.
I'll give it a.
Yeah. Here you go. And if you want to sit and try and do it from the operator's position, that's fine. You can just do it from here. It doesn't matter.
That'd be great.
That gives you the better. I mean, you would actually sort of be right in.
Oh,
You would
okay.
address the tape deck, square on. And in professional situations, they're often flat like this to make it easy to do editing and stuff. When this came into the studio, I had it tilted because it was easier for me in my office to take up less space, and I was just playing back tapes. Doesn't matter. Keep it in the slot. Keep it in the slot. Keep it in the slot. Nope. Just, yeah, go ahead and just pull it through there again. Start again.
Man, I want a tape machine now.
Yeah,
It's
well,
cool.
you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, what you would buy probably on I mean, this is a professional level. This is
Yeah.
1/4-inch half track, which means each track takes up half the tape.
Mm-hmm.
1/4-inch 4-track is typically more of a consumer thing. You'd have to get another a splicing box that would be external to it, or build a box for it. That we do. When we were at the radio station, we had our tape decks. We built slanted stands with a panel at the bottom that had a splicing block on it because they didn't come with splicing blocks.
Oh.
Okay. Well, let's get this secured. There you go. Success. Yay!
Yay. Woo.
Yeah, so the thing about this is, I mean, really, the only thing that can happen is it could be a horrible mistake. Nobody's going to die.
The only thing that could happen is the whole thing blows up.
Well, I think that would be really difficult to achieve. We would have to work hard at that.
Well, I did bring a homemade explosive.
Okay, well, there you go.
It's in my back pocket.
All right, be careful how you sit then. Now you're turning the tape over, right? Take it out.
Yeah.
You're flipping it. See? No, you're not. Yes, you are, because you're going to go this way, right? So you had turned the tape over somehow, because you want it to be coming in. This way, right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this way?
Well, you want to make sure at this point too that you're not twisting it all together, right? So go ahead. Because if you have too much slack and you've let go of the tape, it's possible you could just put a whole twist in it, which you don't want to do.
So I'm going to put it in here.
Yeah, you're twisting it again, right? You want to go this way.
A little bit.
What would the process of putting this into a DAW look like? Or is it just like the same?
Playing it just like a microphone.
Just recording. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
so
know if it's
as you can
anything
see,
crazy.
So here's the thing about, I mean, in theory,
it
this
also
is,
has XLR cables down here.
Mm.
So like the same cables you would use as a microphone.
Okay.
So it's just like wherever the microphone input
except,
is.
okay, you're
same
losing
deal.
your grabbing
You
the
route
slot.
it in, and then in the DAW, you
So the
like
important
match
part
the
is to
channel
keep
up.
it in the slot.
Okay.
So once
And
you
if
get
you
it in
record
there,
arm it and you play whatever's
put
in
your
the machine,
finger on it so
it's
it
gonna
won't slip
record
out.
Mhm.
back in.
So
That's kind of how we got the
That
material
input?
on here anyways. 'Cause we
Okay.
had stuff in the DAW. It was the opposite. We had stuff in the DAW, and then there were input cables going
Yeah.
into here. And then we played what was on the DAW. The tracks that I downloaded, we
Mhm.
played what was on there to track it to tape.
Sweet.
So it goes both ways.
Okay.
Which is cool. I would like to like digitize the stuff
So
we
let,
have here.
just
so
turn
that's
the
not
reel.
just on
Don't hold on. There you go. You got it. You're good. You're solid.
tapes.
You want to do it again?
no.
Okay.
One time was enough.
Okay. So once you get good at this stuff, you don't
You want the chair?
use the
Or you
slot.
want-
You just
Okay.
use your finger to keep the tape in place until it catches a wrap. Like this. This is hard to do from this angle. But sometimes that can get to a situation where you get a slip like this. There you go. Now it finally caught because it got tight enough. And that way it keeps from mangling the end of the tape. Good. So is this, you want to just listen? Where are we at?
Yeah, we're just listening to it. So there's a piano track that I recorded. There's like a chamber track I recorded, and then some speech. There's like a podcast episode.
And this is, we did some practice splicing in this last weekend, this week. So at this point, because you saw how loud we had to make it to get any sort of a self noise of the tape deck, it sounds pretty clean. It sounds like just a good recording. It doesn't sound different than a DAW, right? But again, if you look at the meters here, the level is very reasonable, right? To the point where if we did turn it up to hear it louder, you'd probably start to hear some tape hiss.
Yeah.
But,
To get the saturation, would you
yeah,
want it to be
one,
in like
one
the
of the things we
red?
were talking about was this, that saturation thing. You want to be like
Yeah.
pegging the meters at that point. But we didn't get to that. That's where you'd hear that the actual medium of the tape would start to affect the nature of the sound. And if you ever want to play with this, if you guys get certified here, that little box on top there, the Roland Chorus Echo, why don't you go up there and there's two screws on the either side. Go ahead and unscrew those and pull the top off.
These ones?
Yeah, stand up, you're going to have to do both of them. They don't come all the way out, but you'll feel it when they get loose and then open the top.
Do you ever have to replace the tape that's in there?
Yeah, so that's a tape loop.
Oh wow.
And there's controls on the front of that it has 3 speeds. You know, high, medium, and low. And then there's a variable control that lets you adjust in between that. So you can get exactly the delay time you want. And the reason that works is it's set up for that. We could use this
I've seen one of these
to
before.
do
That's
the
cool.
same kind of thing, but it would be much harder because it's takes a live input and loops the playback back in
There's like the
at a
roll
delay based on the timing you select for tape speed. And there's a feedback control that just keeps feeding it back in so you can get multiple repeats. But yes, you have to replace that tape every now and then. And that's especially, generally, I don't know if you can get the official replacement tapes, but that's a much more lubricated tape stock because it's going to be going around and around and around. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. You're in control.
Do you have to stop it for it to spool forward?
No, it's just smart. You can just hit it and it'll take care of it. You can go from fast to play and it'll take care of it.
Pitch shifting over there.
Oh yeah, let's take that off.
So does the console just allow for 48? Is that 48 different tracks of audio basically?
Sorry, can I just?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
This console, is that just basically 48 independent
48
tracks of
input
audio?
channels, correct. So I could feed two 24 track 2-inch tape machines with the console.
Wow.
And that closet over there was originally designed to hold a 2-inch 24 track tape machine. It's never had one.
I was gonna say back in the old days.
Yeah, I mean by the time this building was open and this studio was really getting fleshed out, we were fully digital. But we were tape-based digital, right? We had 8-track digital audio tape recorders. 3 of them synced together for 24 tracks. They're just rack-mounted devices. You know, about the size of that thing there.
I mean, if you took that off of its little wheels, it would probably...
Oh yeah, it's just rack-mounted.
Yeah.
It's just rack-mounted into a rolling case.
Okay.
It's absolutely meant to be rack-mountable.
I was gonna say I've usually seen it like vertical like this. So.
Yeah, well this is, if you look at the side here, you can see that it takes a socket wrench to loosen these up, because normally this was a knob, and there's a spring-loaded pin with a handle, so you can see all the different holes here. You could drop it into any one of those tilts, from vertical to upside down.
Does
Somehow
like the
all that
change
hardware
in
disappeared
gravity?
over the time.
Does the change in gravity like affect how the? Okay, yeah.
That's what all this stuff is about, right? These tension rollers also align the tape to get it into the right spot. And the reason that this is here, right? Because this is a rubber surface contacting the tape, so I can do this too. That's why it's there. Yeah, who knew, right? Like I said, the one thing that's missing is the spooling mode, which I miss.
What does that do?
So it's a fast play. So it's a smooth, consistent rap away from the tape heads. So you're not wearing the tape heads, and you're going faster than play, which is slower than rewind or fast forward, which tends to have an uneven tape pack. Like you can see, you can feel where we went fast. When I do that, feel across the tape pack there. You can feel the unevenness, right? Where we've been fast forwarding and rewinding. But in the beginning, where we're doing mostly play, it's very smooth, and then it just gets where we've been juggling back and forth. It gets different.
So with something like this, is it just a good idea to just play through the entire tape?
So
once
again,
to, like,
for something like
store it?
this, which is a tape we're playing with in class, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But for archival purposes, if you're done with the tape, you've got your master tape, it's perfect. You want to end up with it played tails out. So in theory, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be played through as you're recording or playing it back to listen to it. And when you're done, you have a perfectly smooth, evenly spaced tape pack, and you can put it away with confidence.
I wonder if you could emulate that mode by just changing the pitch control.
So again, tape heads.
Oh, that's true.
Right? You
Yeah.
don't want to do that to your tape heads. Right? That was the whole point of the spooling mode, is you could get faster than play away from the tape heads, and it was still smooth. So again, I told this to the folks last week, we've been exposing this so everybody can see what's going on. But typically, you would never have this up, and then on playback, you would put up what's called this tape shield, tape head shield.
Couldn't you just like...
Which this might have affected the low end, hang on a second, of the noise floor we were hearing. Because part of that's why this exists, is to keep random RF stuff from going in there. So yes, your question?
Couldn't you just put like some sort of plastic nubs, tape them down to the actual tape deck, and then just have it run around the playheads?
There's all kinds of things you could do. That's one you could do, absolutely. But I would want to make sure, which one of these, I don't know, like this one. This one here actually is a roller. So I probably want to have it be a roller so it has less friction on the tape itself. In this case, when the tape heads, the lifters come out, they're not rollers, but that's, they figured out that shiny stainless steel is okay. I was looking for the spoken word part. Didn't she put leader in there somewhere? Is it past this? Or
you'll have to fast forward a lot.
I'm not seeing any leader in there.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if
Is this, but it was the same tape, right?
Yeah.
That of recorded
Yeah,
sound.
it is noon if you have to leave it,
Experimental composer Leah Reed composed an entire musical work with the sounds of drawing
listen
and
to this.
writing. It is called.
So last week Sheila was demonstrating actual editing of content. And so there's this thing where this composer starts talking and you'll see a splice go by where she took a piece out. And then I think another splice where she took out some of the noise that was part of the podcast to make it shorter.
Yeah.
And then lost track of which was the head and the tail, the beginning and the end of that, and put it back in accidentally backwards. And you'll hear that. Because what happens is the noise is really loud and then disappears and fades in and stops loud again, instead of being loud and fading out.
Sketch. Chris Hoff of the World According to Sound podcast has the story.
Leah Reed is a professor of music at the University of Virginia, and she composes pieces of musique concrète, or music made up of recorded sounds.
I'm focusing on taking some of those everyday sounds, cutting with scissors, and
spice?
creating something new out of that. There are
Right, so you hear that was inverted?
Yeah.
Because it faded in again. So anyway, let's listen to that again because it was cool.
Of recorded sounds.
I'm focusing on taking some of those everyday sounds, cutting with scissors,
So
and
she
creating
took a
something new
chunk of
out
her
of
voice
that.
out of there. And then here she said, let's just put it
There are
backwards.
so many beautiful.
But she decided to put it back because without it, it ended too abruptly. And so that doesn't sound good, but then it was literally the toss of a coin as to whether it was forwards or backwards, and it was backwards. So, we still got some time. I know one of us has to leave. But
Yeah, I have
you have to leave. Okay.
I actually do too.
All right.
Well, we can
call it here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Thank you so
This has
much.
been awesome. Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys are enjoying
Do
it.
you think we could do another quick photo?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Get everybody in the tape deck.
Let's do this again. I prop my phone like right here.
So we all have to pretend we're really close friends to get everybody in the picture. Come on, squeeze in. Don't unplug cords, just step over me. You should get closer. So I get closer. Come on in over this side. And wait, don't have everybody. Yeah, come on over here. Squeeze in a little bit.
We got a lot of them over here.
Yeah. That looks good. Oh wait, now where's Lucas gonna go?
I'm gonna go at the end, right here. See.
Yeah, we got.
You need something or just checking in?
I'm just checking in because I have to run home for lunch.
We're wrapping up.
Okay, great. I was
We're good to
if
go.
you needed something, I'm
No?
not going to be.
Okay,
but
thank you.
We're wrapping up.
We're good.
How's that?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah.
Hold my
just-
smile
just
for the
had to.
last 3 seconds.
No.
All right.
Woo!
All right.
Alright.
Check and make sure it's good before everybody goes away. Hang on.
Make sure I didn't blink.
It looks good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for this workshop.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's my
This
pleasure.
was awesome.
Yeah.
And just
Oh, that's
one-
awesome.
Take a picture
so
of the machine.
again, because I've been doing a lot of archival tape work, so one of the things I did, I had a bunch of stuff from Voice of America. It was one of the first big projects I did here. And I had somebody my assistant who was working with me, first of all, scan all sides of the tape boxes. So that, because in theory, getting to the physical thing again is going to be hard. So you want that record. But I had him scan the tape reel before we did anything to it. So I had a record of what the pack looked like. And in some cases, it looked awful. There was like gaps where tape had been looped back and forth. But just from someone who's done this so long, if I hear anomalies in the playback and I can refer back to what the tape looked like, I can go, oh, that's probably what that was. So it actually makes sense because it's a physical medium to document its physical condition. And I actually put together, this was going into the library, was taking this collection, and I put together, with all those scans I made, a 3D model of a tape box, and you could click on it and open it up and look at the tape.
Huh.
And I said, should we do this for all this? And you go, oh no, we're not interested in that. I'm like, seriously? This is so
That's
cool.
cool, though, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So go ahead and rewind. But anyway, so this is why I wanted you to feel that, because it actually does mean something, you know. And stored long enough where the tape is just like doing, you know, in and out of alignment, you get warps in the tape. So as it passes the playback head, it's not properly aligned. And most of it's minuscule, but it makes a difference. Which is why you want to store it properly, but we're not going to bother because this was just fun. See, now this is one of the problems with this tape. This head will move into the off position because it's not properly aligned. So I have to hold it for the length rewinding. You don't want to block it with something and leave the room because I'll show you what happens. The tape just keeps spinning. And this happened once for some reason before, for some other reason it didn't go into the off position. And this is a different batch of tapes, but the assistant set the last tape to wind out and went home for the night. This one didn't do that. But I came back and the room was just filled with little bits of tape. And it's just been ripping off tiny bits of tape. I was like, oh my God, what happened? I figured it out. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And as a quick demo too, not really a demo, but just to demonstrate that you can record this to tape. I record armed just like while it was playing, and you know we have the waveforms like in here. As you can see. So
there you go. Like, just like anything else, it's a
thing to tape. You can bring it back into, you can digitize it.
Cool. I mean, for the most part, everything that gets recorded is an analog source of some kind, an instrument, a voice. But of course, if you have an electronic keyboard, that's not necessarily analog, but it's an analog signal coming out, right? Just an electrical signal, like from the microphone. So
yeah.
Yep. But then what you do with it, it's up to you. So anyway, this tape deck, you know, I'm going to encourage them to keep it working because what the hell, right?
Yeah.
We have some other ones that don't work, which is why, you know, Lucas asked if we get a second deck for today, and we couldn't because we don't have any that function.
So it's all good. Guys, thank you again for coming. Like, I really appreciated it.
Thanks for hosting. Glad you guys enjoyed it.
I'm glad you guys found it so cool. Like, honestly, it is just awesome. It's awesome stuff. Wish you all the best of luck on finals.
You as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck, everybody. Yeah. And can you guys take these stacking chairs back out to the studio for me?
Okay. Cool. I was gonna say I could take care of that, but
well, we got a bunch of hands here. You know, many hands make light work. And we can also wheel all the rest of those rolling chairs back in.
Bye.